Hello and welcome to our very final yoga practice together underneath the umbrella of the Self-Love Challenge. The idea for today's practice is really just to use the strength that you've built as you've stuck to your strengthening days, and just that sense of tapping into what you need as we move through a practice that will generate a bit of heat, but also a lot of our hugging that we will be focusing on. I just want this to be a fun, playful practice for you, and know that if you like this, you can keep coming back for more. So there's going to be lots of opportunities to get more yoga in through the ongoing challenges. So stay tuned for more. With that said, come to a seat on your mat. And what I'm going to do is grab a couple pillows. And just place those right underneath my tush. And come to a nice, comfortable, seated position. Cross-legged, one foot in front, one ankle in front of the other. Resting your palms on your thighs, or palms up if you need a little bit of drawing in or a little bit of increase of energy. And take a moment and just close your eyes. Acknowledging the steps that you have taken towards tending to yourself. No matter how many days you were able to step up and apply the practices, the techniques, and the challenges put forth through over the past couple weeks, it's irrelevant. It's that you made the initial steps towards you. And honor that and have a little sense of gratitude right here for yourself. And just honor and hold tight to the energy of the gratitude as you take a big inhale breath in. And then as you exhale, release. And then allowing the breath to move in through the nose. And exhaling out through the nose. Ultimately, it really is about being able to connect to that essence of gratefulness. To have gratitude for yourself, for the time that you have, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. To being alive, to waking up. To having the awareness of these things. That is something to truly be grateful for. So in your practice today, just honoring that essence. Take an inhale breath, reach the arms up and overhead. Exhale, bring the hands in front of the heart center. Interlace the fingers and press the heels of the hands out and just shake a little. Inhale the arms up, draw the shoulders down a little, shake a little overhead. And then release the hands, bind the hands back behind you. Rock the shoulders together, lift the heart. Release the hands, plant the hands down. Slide your cushion off to the side or whatever you were sitting on. And take a moment and just roll the shoulders out, roll the hips out, and just let the head be heavy. And for a moment, we're going to sense where our bodies kind of connect to the mat, planting your hands, widening your hands out, and allow your toes to tuck, and sensing that control there. You have to stop, moving forward and back. Sensing where the body is. Now release the toes and sit back onto your heels, and allow your hold to that idea of where your body is melt down as your heart melts down into the thighs. Allow what you see in the material world to go dark for a moment. And allow your breath to kind of wash over your entire being and be present with that. As you exhale, imagine that it's becoming bigger than that material self body that you saw before you allowed yourself to draw inward. Feel yourself pulse with the breath. Allow yourself to become present with every cell. Allow those cells to expand beyond the skin. Allow yourself, your awareness, to become bigger, broader. be grateful for this connection, for this awareness, for this practice. Go ahead, look to the front of your mat, scoop your heart through. Pull up your head and your chest, roll your shoulders back, small cobra. Press yourself back towards your heels. Hit the brakes by tucking the toes under. Sit your hips back towards your heels. Rest your forehead down on the ground. Do that again. Inhale, scoop the heart through the hands. Roll the shoulders up towards the ears and down the back. Exhale, press back. Hit the brakes by tucking the toes under. Sit your hips down towards your heels. One more time. Scoop the heart through. Inhaling it up, maybe a little higher if that's okay with your body at this point. And then press it back. Toes tuck underneath. Forehead touches the ground. Then from here, come up to the hands and knees. Go ahead and straighten the legs, knees slightly bent, pedal out the feet, let the head be heavy. Look to the front of your mat, step your feet up to the front of your mat. Feet slightly open, knees slightly bent. Inhale, come up to a flat back. The hands could be on the legs. Exhale, fold. Press into the earth, reach the arms all the way up and overhead. And exhale the hands and turn to the heart center. We're going to do a modified sun salutation. I know it looks like there's a big beam of light coming out of my skull. That's on purpose, of course. I can only dim so many lights. Keep your hands at your heart. Let the gaze go to the tips of your fingers. Spread the toes out. Reach the arms up, lift the heart, take a little micro back bend. And then exhale, knees bent, fold forward. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, step the right foot back, drop the right knee down. Inhale, breath, reach the arms up and lift up and out of your pelvis. Feel free to push pause. Feel free to take more steps than needed to get into these places. Listen to what your body needs at this point in your practice. You're moving on towards a couple more breaths here. Exhale, bring the hands down to the ground. Step the front foot back. Come all the way down to your belly. Roll the shoulders back behind you. Keep the tops of your feet pressing into the ground. Fingernails touching. Interlace the fingers behind you. Peel up just the head and the chest. Squeeze the shoulder blades together slightly if that feels safe for your heads of your shoulders. Release. Tuck the toes. Press your hips back. You have the brakes set on those feet. Then go ahead and straighten the legs. Right foot steps between the hands, back knee drops down. We're going to take our time. I'm going to release those brakes. So I release the toes and I reach the arms up, pull myself up and out of the pelvis. I'm going to take a couple breaths here. And then I'm going to exhale, plant the hands. Step the back foot up to meet the front. Feet stay hip width distance apart, knees slightly bent. Inhale, coming up to a flat back with the knees slightly bent. Exhale, fold. Press, rise all the way to standing, arms reach out, palms together. Exhale the hands back down to heart center. Inhale, reach the arms up. Bend the knees first and then exhale, fold the body forward. Inhale, coming up to a flat back. Left foot steps back. This time keep the knee up if you like. And we're going to inhale, come up and do a higher lunge, one breath up. And then exhale, plant the hands. Front foot steps back. All the way down to the belly. Roll the shoulders back, interlace the fingers. Rock the shoulders together. Peel up just the head and the chest. Belly stays on the ground. Tops of the feet, toenails pressing down to the ground. Press yourself up with the toes tucked under. Straighten the legs. Downward facing dog for a couple breaths here. Knees can be slightly bent. Draw the navel point in towards the spine. Bend the elbows a little bit here. And then gently rotate the creases of the elbows towards your ears and then towards the front of your mat. That is the direction that those upper arm bones need to take to create some space for those shoulders. So we're leading with that left foot. It's going to step between the hands. Drop that, or drop the knee down if you need to, or keep it up. Your choice. It's an inhale breath up. And then an exhale breath. Plant the hands. Step the back foot up to meet the front. Little bend in the knees. Inhale, come up to a flat back. Exhale, fold. Press and rise all the way to standing. Arms are going to reach up and overhead. Exhale the hands into the heart center. Sit yourself back as if you're reaching your hips back to take a seat on a chair, and then reach the arms up. This is your Utkatasana. Exhale, fold forward. Belly draws to the tops of the thighs. Knees can be slightly bent here. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, this time step or hop both feet back. Hold the plank for a moment. Draw the belly in towards the spine. If you need to drop the knees here, totally honorable place to be. Be wherever you need to be able to feel strong, to be able to breathe, to be able to invite a sense of gratitude and calm into your posture. And then we're all going to go really slowly down to the belly. And one more time, roll the shoulders back, take the hands behind you, peel up the head and the chest, draw the knuckles down towards the heels. And release. Press yourself up and all the way back. Step your right foot between your hands. You're going to bring that back heel down, and we're going to open up into Warrior B. So you're going to take the wide side of the mat. I'm going to turn, so I'm facing you. The heel of your front foot is intersecting the arch of your back. Extend the arms. Turn the palm up. Reach as if you're scooping for something awesome to be grateful for. Squeeze the palm, hold it, and then reach the hand back behind you. Look into your armpit. You can also look down. And then inhale, open those hands up. Palms out, straighten the front leg, reach forward. And take the right hand down to the inside of that right front leg. It also could rest on top of the shin bone, on top of the thigh. You want to feel like you're sliding in between two panes of glass. Soften the jaw. If it's too much to look up, look down. If it's too much for the shoulder, the arm to be up, drop the hand back behind you. We're going to bend the front knee and just slide the elbow up on top of that knee. And if you have the hand up, go ahead at this point, drop it behind you. You're actually going to create a little bit of a bind if you can reach back and grab the top of the thigh or your shirt back behind you. Looking up or looking down, that elbow is pressing into the knee, the slightly open palm is open to receive. Right palm open to receive. Look down your top side of your body. And the outer edge of your foot's pressing, and then there's a line of energy moving up that leg, up that side body. Your hip is not hinging up or kind of popping up. You want to bring it down. If it's starting to pop up, readjust your stance. Take one more breath. And then we're going to unravel, straighten the legs, turn the toes to face the long edge of the mat. And then take a big inhale, breath up, and exhale, full, plant the hands on the ground. Walk the hands back through your feet. Draw the elbows together. So I have my fingertips pointing forward, walking my hands back. The heels of my hands are moving through my legs. And as that happens, I start to draw my elbows together and draw my chest deeper through my thighs. Walk the hands so the fingertips line up with your toes. Inhale, rise up halfway, smile there. Feel length through your heart. Extend your heart forward or your shoulders back. And then on the exhale breath, bring the hands to the hips. And inhale, rise all the way up. From here, toes out, heels in. Inhale up. Exhale, the hands on top of the knees. Sit into the hips, rock a little from side to side. A real feel-good practice. We're going to get into all the nooks and crannies. We're going to hug it all. We're going to lengthen it all right here. So you get to let your elbows creep up towards your ears in this particular one. The hands are resting on the inside of the knees. Your hips are heavy like a cannonball sinking through this horse stance of modified. And we're going to take it really slow. We're going to drop one shoulder down to the center And you'll get the gaze go up and over the opposite side. Stay here and breathe. Inhale back to center. Rock a little from side to side. If at any point you need to come out of it, straighten the legs, straighten the arms, you're welcome to. You're going to dip the opposite shoulder in, and you're going to look up and away from that dipped shoulder. And then come back to center. Straighten those legs, turn those toes forward. Let's go ahead and fold the body forward. This time the abs are going to come to the outsides of the feet, cupping the heels. Draw the chest through. As you bend your elbows, your forearms are going to line up with the outer parts of your legs. Your heart is going to draw through. It's not actually physically going to go through. That's just a direction. Try to bring the heart through the legs. Elbows hug the legs as well. Inhale, come up halfway. I want you to walk towards the front of your mat. Walk towards that right foot. Step the foot back. Come all the way down onto your belly. Roll the shoulders back, interlace the fingers. Opposite thumb on top. Keep those toenails pressing down. Lift the heart. Lift the hands slightly, and then exhale, release. Press yourself up. Toes tucked under. Sit back onto those heels, and then straighten the legs. Left foot steps between the hands, back heel spirals down. This is that big inhale up into warrior B. So the heel of the front foot is intersecting the arch of the back. Extend the arms. Turn the palm up in front. Take a big scoop of something that you want and you need, and then take it back with you as you reach back. Keep the base of the body exactly the same. Squeeze that fist. Lengthen that side body. And then inhale, coming up, keep the base exactly the same. Open the arms, spread out the hands, straighten the front leg. Reach forward, bring the hand down either to the ground or the shin bone or a prop. Top arm reaches up. You're in triangle pose. So you may find you need to bring your back foot in a little bit. You may need to bring the hand on top of the thigh. This may be your triangle. A chair is really nice if that's where your body needs the support. You want to be able to feel like you're sliding through two panes of glass. So if you're hunching over, you might be trying too hard to get into a certain architecture that your body is not designed for or ready for. So modify it, tweak it. If it's too much to have the hand up, it drops behind you. If it's too much to look up, look straight ahead, look down. Just keep the chest kind of facing straight towards me, camera, or your screen. Wherever you are, you want to be able to wiggle your toes. Allow your breath to be bigger than who you are right here. Big inhale. Exhale. Now bending that front knee, you're going to slide the elbow on top of the knee. If you have the hand up, just drop it behind you. Create that half bind into the hip crease. Palm of the left hand is now up, receiving. You can look up or you can look down. Use that bottom elbow as a leverage to help open the knee up. And let's go ahead. We're going to release, come up, straighten the legs, turn the toes facing forward. This time we're going to go ahead and extend the hands forward. I want you to extend, lengthen the side body, really root down through your feet. Plant the hands. We're going to walk the hands through and then cup the heels of the feet for our anchor point as we bring our chest through once again. And then walk the hands, the fingertips going to line up with the toes, press into the earth, let those hands touch the earth, extend the heart forward, and then draw the navel point into the spine. Left arm extends, right arm extends. Inhale the rest of the way back up. Exhale, externally rotate the feet out. Slide the hands down the thighs. Once again, finding that position in a modified horse pose. Rock it from side to side a little bit. And we're going to move this one with the breath. So you're going to drop one shoulder down. That's going to be the exhale. And then inhale, look up and over the opposite. And then switching on the exhale, next exhale breath, the shoulder, opposite shoulder drops down. And then you inhale up and over. And again. Really bringing your attention to lengthen those breaths. It's a really great place to just take some big, deep, long breaths. Emptying it out. The diaphragm has plenty of space. And then come back to neutral. Let's go ahead, straighten the legs. Turn the toes back to face forward. Arm expansion, palms up, heart lifts. And then bring the hands behind you. Bind the uncomfortable way. So I'm interlacing my fingers like this. And then from here, sit your tush back towards the back of the room, the wall, whatever's behind you, and fold forward. You can leave the hands on the sacrum or let them start to drop down. Inhale, rise up. We're going to stay here with the nice wide stance. Release the hands. Exhale the hands into the heart center. Once again, turn the toes out. You're going to find that squat. Toes slightly out, and you're going to take it into a squat. We're going to place a hand down to the inside of, we'll go the right or the left side, and then just press that forearm and just lift the opposite arm up. The more you externally rotate those feet, the more accessible this is going to be. It's moving kind of a asymmetrical, or just taking it over to the side with that squat. Elbows pressing, the arms pressing into the thigh. Inhale, bring it up to a horse dance. And then exhale, press the hand down to the opposite side and open the arm up. The upper arm was pressing on the inside of that knee. Big hip opener. And then release. Come on up, press the legs straight, open it up. And then bind the hands back behind you one more time. Rock the shoulders together, fold forward. Just to get down to the ground, release the hands down. Take a walk back towards that left foot, back to the front of your mat. Front foot steps back. Come down all the way. This time, peel the head and chest up. Interlace the fingers. I'm going to float my legs up. Float your legs up if it feels safe for your back. Engage your quadricep muscles. Send your heart to the front of the room. Send your feet to the back. Get long before you go up. I will keep repeating it. Get long. Don't worry about going up. Extend, lengthen. Engage the muscles of the legs, the back, and the belly. Breathe here. And then release. Press yourself back. So toes tuck. Hips go back towards your heels. Get super long through the spine and through the arms, and then straighten the legs. Are you going to bed, honey? Yeah. Okay. I'll come back. Pausing. And holding your downward facing dog just for a moment. I'm going to go ahead and take a wide step up. So step as wide as your hands. Externally rotate your toes and sit your tailbone down. So coming into a squat. When you come into this squat, like no way, you're either here, this is totally fine. You can even put a bench underneath you. You can also put a block if you get down far enough to sit on a block. If your heels pop up, roll your mat up and stick it underneath your heels. Place your hands in front of your heart center. Elbows are going to press gently on the insides of your knees. Take a moment here. Go ahead and plant one hand down on the ground and then open the opposite hand up. Leverage is going to help open the hip up of the hand that you have down on the ground. And then with that front hand, you could bind it around the shin bone and stay right there if that feels good. It may feel good to also bind with the opposite hand. That's totally, completely optional. A little squeeze for that side of the body. And then releasing. Hands come back to the heart center. Place the opposite hand down. Open the arm up. Bring the hand around the shin bone. The opposite hand, optional, can draw them back and you can create the full bind. If the binding is not happening for you, hands stay wide open here. And then we're going to go ahead, release, plant the hands, turn the toes forward, straighten those legs up, and then go ahead and roll all the way up. Toe heel the feet together, sweep the hands up, and find that Utkatasana. One more little squeeze, hug for the side body. You're going to bring the hands to the heart center. Bring that left elbow to the outside of the right knee. And a little twist here. Inhale, come up, reach the arms up. Exhale, bring the right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Inhale, come back, upright with the trunk of the body. Exhale, fold. Keep the knees slightly bent. And let the head get heavy. Toe heel the feet as wide as the mat once again. Walk the hands through and slowly bring your sit bones down to a seated position. Extend the legs out, not a super wide extension. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, fold forward. You can rest your head on a block here. Your fold forward may be more like just a slight hinge forward. You want to feel a nice flat back. If you have the cushion and you feel like your lower back is rounding, this is a great place to sit up on a cushion, even no matter what, just to train that proper tilt in the pelvis so that you're not straining the lower vertebrae in the back. We're going to inhale, come forward. I want us to go ahead and bend the shin bone of the right leg. You're going to rock it forward, plant the hands, and swing that left leg back. Plant the hands, pick yourself up, adjust, moving into Ekapada Raja Kapotasana. If you do not do pigeon this way due to discomfort in the knee, if you have any knee history, you will be flipping this over, taking a couple extra moves in your transition, placing the ankle on top of the left knee and drawing it in from there. If you have no knee history and it's all good through that front knee, then you can take it in this downward facing variation. We're going to walk the hands back, lift the heart, open the throat up. And then exhale, fold. Walk the right hand, inhale the left arm up, and then exhale, sweep the left hand underneath the armpit of the right arm and take your ear down to the ground. You're welcome to hit pause and hang out here a little bit longer if your body needs that. Otherwise, we're going to come up, lift through the heart. Keep that front foot flexed. I'm going to show the variation if you are in this form of the pigeon. So the next movement, if you're on your back, there's going to be another option. So first, if you're in pigeon, as I was, you're going to take that back leg and you're going to sweep it around, and we're going to stack shin bones on top of each other or bring one shin bone in front of the other. Or another variation here is that bottom leg becomes straight and you keep a triangle in that top leg. Shin bone is parallel to the front of your mat, and you'll hold it here. If you're on your back, you may choose to stay on your back, tightly squeeze the legs, reach for the feet, and work the stretch from there. Or you can come join us seated, stacking the shin bones, or taking any of the options I provided, straightening the bottom leg, or bringing one shin bone in front of the other. Honor where you are. This is a very advanced arrangement for the hips. If we had a better angle, you would see that my left knee is hovering quite high off of my right foot. So don't beat yourself up about where you are. Honor where you are, because the most important thing is that where you are is you're on your mat. And I couldn't extend more gratitude to you being on your mat right now. So give that to yourself, and then slowly you can fold it forward. If that feels good to you, you may feel better staying upright, just kind of working this experience into the areas where you feel resistance. Using the breath as a tool to help soften the muscles. It helps relax the muscles, and then we can go a little bit deeper. It starts to allow us to get length. It gets us past some of those top layers. It releases some of those tight knots. Sometimes it's just that tense of resistance because we're trying to protect ourselves. And so we just have to send that message through the nervous system that we're in a state of rest, digest, restore, so that it's okay, it's safe here. Okay, we're going to walk our hands up. You're going to slide that top foot down. And we're switching to the other side with pigeon. So I'm just going to slide my right leg back behind me. Plant the hands. Walk them in front of that shin bone and kind of settle myself up. So if you're on your back, you're just going to switch legs and take that supine pigeon pose here. My front shin bone is more or less parallel to the front of my mat. If you have more shorter muscles, tighter muscles in the hips, then your heel will be closer to your groin. Totally fine. Everyone's going to have a different story to tell here when we go into these parts of the body. Inhale, lift the heart. And then exhale, come down about halfway. Right hand's going to open up. And then we're going to weave the hand underneath the left arm, coming into a twist. Ear goes down to the ground, and we're going to be with our breath here. Feel free to hit pause. Be there with your breath longer. Now, if you're on your back in this variation, your next move will be either to join us or you tighten the cross of the legs, reach for the feet, and bring those feet down towards the ground. If you're in the upright variation, you're going to take the leg from behind, swing it around, working range of motion in that hip, and the ankle. Let me give you the options from least to most. Ankle rests on top of the knee with the bottom leg straight. Got my right ankle on top of my knee. More intense. My right shin bone's in front of my left shin bone. I still have a pretty good space in between from my groin to where my calf starts. More intense. My ankle of my right foot is resting on top of my left knee. And in theory, this knee here on this side would be resting on this ankle here. But I honor where I am, because I know I worked super hard today in other ways, and I got a lot of strength built up in my legs. They need this. They need a little message sent to them right now. And my hips too, that it's okay to unwind, unravel, give me the length that I need, because sometimes this does work. Knees sometimes resting on the ankle. Every day is different. That's a great part about practice, this yoga practice, is how much you can kind of be very present, because what you come to the mat with may change. And each time you step onto it. and you learn a little bit more about yourself and how your body adapts and how it forgets and how we have to be more patient with ourselves. Love ourselves a lot more, be grateful for ourselves a lot more. And we're going to walk it up. And we're going to walk it back. I'm going to rock yourself back. And then so we can meet anybody that might be resting on the ground, we're going to roll onto our backs, draw the knees into the chest, and give a squeeze. And then plant the heels on the ground. And your palms up. And we'll just take a few rounds of bridge, peeling up the glutes, sending the knees forward. And just nice and gentle here. Letting the heads of the shoulders, the tops of the shoulders more so, just kind of melt down into your mat, sending your knees forward. If you want to go bigger on the bridges, you're welcome to. We're just going to do 2 rounds. I'm going to exhale, come down, vertebrae by vertebrae, nice and slow. And one more time, inhaling, coming up. Again, if you want to go bigger here, if it's in your practice, you're welcome to go bigger. You can interlace the hands underneath you, rock onto the shoulders and rise up. You can go into that full, big upward bow pose if that's in your practice. I'm going to be in this version for one more breath. And exhale, come down one vertebrae at a time. I'm going to draw my knees into my chest because that's all I'm doing for my back bends today. And then I'm going to take my right leg extended out, and I'm going to hook my left foot on the inside of my thigh and let the knee cross over the body. I'm going to tee out my opposite arm, and I'm going to gaze in that direction. And then come back to center, give that knee a hug and a squeeze in. And then bring the opposite leg up. I'm going to hook the foot into the inside of my extended leg thigh. Drop the knee across the body. Teeing out the opposite arm. And looking in the opposite direction that my knee's going. And coming out, back onto your backs. Draw your knees in, give yourself a squeeze right here. Now from here, I'd like you to scoot yourself up to a wall. So I'm going to come up to my wall here. It should still hopefully be in the camera. And I'm just going to scoot my tush up to the wall on the side and then swing my legs up. Doing a little bit of legs up the wall before we take our final Shavasana. No, just letting those legs rest against the wall. Your tush is as close as you can get it to the wall. If you have a small bolster or a folded blanket, you can place it under the sacrum area of your back. And we're going to rest here and breathe fully and deeply. The intention of our practice is to lift any blockages that we might have had, to lengthen some muscles, to bring warmth, and to allow ourselves, our breaths, to be really bigger than what we perceive ourselves to be. Because we are grander. And allow yourself here in the state to just kind of enjoy that sense of being great. And then allow yourself yourself to enjoy the essence of being full of that great. And then allow yourself to enjoy the essence of being grateful. You're welcome to hit pause. You're welcome to stay in this position as we shift and make our way into Shavasana, our final pose. So I'm going to slide myself down, shift myself back onto my mat, very slowly, kind of keeping that inner calm that I've set. From my legs up the wall, extending arms, extending legs. Closing your eyes wherever you are. Softening your jaw, softening your teeth, your cheeks, your eyes. Stay where you are and soften your chest. Soften your ribs. Soften your pelvis. Let them be heavy, nestled into the earth. Soften your legs and your ankles and your feet. And then the next time you take an inhale breath, imagine you're pulling a big blanket from your feet up all the way over the crown of the head. Very soft blanket that drapes over you and allows you to be heavy, so heavy to the point where as you exhale, you can just melt down into the earth underneath you. Stay here. Enjoy your Shavasana. Enjoy the celebration of your greatness. Be grateful that you can be here in your body.